Modern Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 112? 112?
At 112. 112.
112.
Now I have to think about it. I have to think about it for a second. 112.
Good. That's that on multiple occasions. But I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from previous games and previous day. How are you this Thursday, Ja?
I'm cooling.
It's kind of been an eventful week, so to speak.
Yes.
Why, do you not like that it was been eventful?
No, it's not even that. I don't know. I don't know where my heart's at right now. We're thinking about this week.
You gotta wait till the end of the week?
Yeah.
I swear. You're a different breed. You're a different breed.
Oh,
for
thanks,
better
man.
or for worse. But everyone else, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you will have a good day. Lots to discuss in the basketball world. Man, there was so many good games last night. So much happened, good and the bad. But first, let's go on with that man and his team, led by MVP'd Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia, hosting the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker and CP3. And as you would expect from two top teams in the league, this was a fun, entertaining, great game. Back and forth from really the get-go.
Yeah.
Chris Paul played big. He had himself a good game. Mikal Bridges. Cam Johnson coming off the bench. And they really kept the Suns team, competitive with them. I didn't mention Devin Booker because he was kind of struggling in the beginning, or for most part of this game, actually.
Yes. He had a difficult time getting on the roll but it's cool to mention him a little bit because we know what he does when it comes to the end of games. But we're not going to bring that up yet. We're not going to bring that up
Not yet. As for the Sixers, MVP did show up 38 and 17 on the night, big time, as you would expect from someone like him. Danny Green, Korkmaz, they didn't have Simmons. They also didn't have Harris. Again, he's been missing a few games recently. So, but yeah, fun game, competitive game, back and forth, really up until that fourth quarter, in which the Suns started to get out to a lead. They got out in midway in that fourth quarter to as big as 9, 16. But the Sixers, being the Sixers, they battled back, led by Embiid, who was hitting big buckets, getting big buckets down the stretch. But I mean, the Suns team, Devin Booker, he came alive.
Yes.
He was struggling for most part of this game, but he came alive in that fourth quarter, late in that fourth quarter. And he was in big shots for them. He was a closer for them, and that's what they needed. And led with that big shot as the shot clock went down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you talking about the fadeaway one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just that big shot, and the Sixers are down 113-107. Like all hope is lost. But Embiid hits a 3. Free throws are made. Then I believe Korkmaz. Was it Korkmaz? Yes. Korkmaz hits a 3.
Contested.
Yes. And they're down by 2. But no timeouts. And there's 1.8 seconds left. Suns give the ball to Chris Paul. He gets fouled. And in one of the wildest sequences I've ever seen. Well, one, Chris Paul missed the free throw. That's one. Yeah. I mean, that alone is just surprising. Chris Paul doesn't miss free throws. Nonetheless, down the stretch in a close game. But he misses a free throw. And Embiid gets the ball. There's only 0.8 seconds left on the clock. And as soon as, please show the footage, as soon as he gets the ball, literally barely just touched the ground, just throws it, just chucks it. And somehow the ball banks off the glass, looks like it's going in and just pops out. And as a result, with what have been one of the most wildest shots in NBA history, the Suns do end up falling to the Suns, or the Sixers do end up falling to the Suns, losing by 3. Oh, wow.
Hey man, Embiid, if this basketball career don't turn out well, like you could always get a job at the quarterback position in the NFL. You know what I mean with that? Because that was a
Listen.
I don't know the science behind that, but that was beautiful. Nah, that was really beautiful to watch that in the air.
He didn't it was like almost no thought. As soon as he got it, he just touched the ground.
Yep. Yep. Look, I know he missed, but that play shows that he should be MVP because he did that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but just what you said. This was a close affair, man. A battle between both top teams in the league in their specific conference, but of course, around the league, you know what I mean. 2 MVP candidate. Well, I don't know if you consider Chris Paul MVP candidate, but I do. But he's like at the bottom of the list compared to most of the people who are also fighting for the spot. But battling it out, keeping his showing his impact, his will on the game and for his team and how much he changes. Because again, just like what we alluded to, Devin Booker struggled for majority of this game up until his to that point in which he finished off well in that fourth quarter, hitting big shot after big shot. But yet and with Ayton being draped on Embiid, that was going to be a difficult assignment. So I didn't expect him to struggle this bad, but yet even though he held his own, it's just we need more production out of that.
But he's going up against the best center in the league, arguably. Him and Jokic are literally fighting.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's the reason why. Oh, yeah, him and Sarge. Yep, him and Sarge had a difficult time guarding Embiid. Yes. But I just expect him to put up more than what he did. That's all.
I can see your point.
But yeah, it was a close affair. And it came down to the wire. But yet, things just have to go well and play. It was a great shot by Korkmaz to tie up the game. And just like what you said, wait, did he tie up the game with
No, he
shot?
didn't. He was down by 2.
Down by 2. Sorry, my bad. Just to bring them down by 2, they kept clawing, they kept fighting, and that was nearly that could have been a really great shot by Embiid, man. That was lucky.
Yeah, that was amazing. But let's be honest, the game ended, or probably should have ended, with that Devin Booker shot.
Fade away.
Yeah, as the shot clock expired. And that little fourth quarter offense and defense by the Suns was really impressive.
Yes.
It came down, clutch buckets. Devin Booker, the way he came alive, really is what they needed for this win.
Yes.
And that's what they got. And against a good team, against the MVP candidate, that's what you love to see from the Suns.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Good win.
Yeah, good win.
Good win by the Suns team, even though Embiid dominated throughout the whole night, but it was still in surviving that full court heave.
Yeah.
We're able to pick up the win against this Sixers team. But all right. Next up, the next game later on the night, the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Los Angeles Clippers, and nobody played for the Clippers. Nobody, everybody was out. And when I mean everybody, it was literally the second unit of the Clippers. Paul George out. We already know Kawhi has been out, and Patrick Beverley has been out. Reggie Jackson out. Ibaka has been out. Rondo was out. I mean, really, it was Terrence Mann, Marquise Morris, and the second unit.
Hey man, don't forget the
Marcus
Marcus
Morris in the
Cousins.
second unit.
Don't forget the Marcus Cousins, man.
Oh yeah, he's a part of the second unit. But Zubat. It was Man, Zubat, Marcus Morris, and the second unit. Really. And at the start, it looked like that. They were getting beat down early by this Grizzlies team. Grizzlies had all the energy. Mm-hmm. They had everything going for them. Clippers couldn't get offense going. They couldn't stop the Grizzlies on defense. And nobody really played for the Clippers, but someone did make his return for the Grizzlies. And as the Grizzlies being my surprise team, this was exciting to see. Triple J, JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr. playing in his first game since August 3rd after that very bad knee injury that set him out for months and months and months. And man, he looked well. He looked nice. People were saying that he looked a little bit taller.
Probably did. He probably grew some.
But yeah, he played well throughout the night. It was just nice to see him back on the court because he's a good part of he's a good portion of that team.
Yes.
And remember, I said as long as they're able to stay within the mix until he gets back, that's what I was hoping for. And they've stayed within the mix. Not only that, they are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
And now they have him back to take a little bit of time, get him adjusted. This was a good game to get him adjusted. And they're going to be surprise to everybody else, but not surprise to us, right, Ja? Not surprised to us at all.
Okay, number one, that was corny. And number two, get on to what actually happened in the second half of the game.
All right, fine. So we got a hater over here. Ja hating on Ja. The Clippers were down by 21 in that first quarter. But surprise to really everybody, they were coming back. They started playing better. They started getting their offense in rhythm. DeMarcus Cousins, who was stepping up big time for them on offense and on defense. He was hustling. He was taking charges. He was sometimes he would score. He would rebound. Like, it was great to see him. And I'm really rooting for him. Well, both of us are really rooting for him to be signed for the rest of the year and stay on this Clippers team.
Him and Isaiah.
Yeah, him and Isaiah. Even though I don't think Isaiah is going to be on the Pelicans, though, unfortunately.
Stupid. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, we are both rooting for Cousins, and it was nice to see him playing well.
Yeah.
Marcus Morris, he had to be the star for this team. He had to be their best player, and he was. He had 25 on the night. Luke Kennard also stepped up for them, 28 on the night. He was big time for them. And yeah, they found themselves, I think they were like down by 10 and a half after coming back from that. And then the third quarter hit. And the Clippers just kind of started to steamroll. The Grizzlies were up, but the Clippers just had all this energy.
Yes.
Really, it was like a new game. And this was so shocking the way the Clippers were playing. I mean, the Grizzlies, I've started to get really disappointed. They started to get sloppy. They started to just play bad defense. Mm-hmm. It was getting out hustled. That's not what I wanted to see, especially since my surprise team and literally going up against a second unit of a team. This is not what you wanted to see. And really, in that third quarter, and then continuing in that fourth quarter, the Clippers just, tail of two halves.
Yeah, man. Just like you said, tail of two halves. It looked like, and here's my thing, and this is what happened even the last game for them against the Nuggets. They had an advantage. due to unfortunate circumstances for the team that they were going against. Like the Nuggets did not have Jamal Murray, and just get in this game, like basically majority of the important pieces were out
Yeah.
for this game, and yet they had the opportunity to take advantage, in which it looked like they were taking advantage, and they just let the thing slip out their hand, just
Yeah.
slip right through their fingers. This is the second time already that they blew having a lead in the game. Up big, by the way. They were up big. And they just let it go. They just let it go. And the Clippers start to find their stride. They thought they felt like they were the Lob City Clippers for a second. The way that they was catching their stride, man. Just going on the roll like that, going on the tear, finding their flow offensively, and then like just connecting it well. Yeah, man, I look at it. I'm happy to see Triple J back, like but it's just like Memphis cannot do this. This is the second time, and like they carried it over from last game. They need to They need to learn from this one and try their best to avoid doing it the next game, because this cannot happen, especially down the stretch like this.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you, Taylor Jenkins, head coach of the Grizzlies, cannot be happy about this. This is the loss that you don't want to see, especially when playing games, playoffs, how close it is.
Yes.
So you can't really be losing these games. As for the Clippers, gotta give this team credit. Gotta give the credit to players like I said, Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, Terrence Mann, Zubac, even Yogi Ferrell, new signee, stepped up for them in that fourth quarter. I mean, really, they just had all these pieces stepping up for them, all these pieces playing well for them.
Yes.
And that's what you need when your stars aren't playing and when your best players aren't playing.
Exactly.
So you just got to give the credit where credit is due.
Yeah, man, give Clippers a lot of credit. Not having their stars whatsoever out. Like, people looked at them as the underdogs, and we both had them, but we both thought that at least one of the stars would have been playing. But yet, hey, again, we still had them, and they won.
I had the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had the Clippers, but
yeah, you was right. Yeah, disappointed by this Grizzlies team. Happy to see Jaren Jackson Jr. back though, but great win by this Clippers team.
Yeah.
Or Clippers secondary team. But all right, as I mentioned, a lot of other good games around the league. So anything to go over first? Anything that you like to talk about first, or should I just go first? Which one?
You could go first.
Great. The Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. Probably the Knicks' most important game they have played in a decade. Because the Hawks coming into this game, 4th seed. The Knicks are the 5th seed. The Knicks were a half game back behind the Atlanta Hawks. So do the math. The Knicks win, they will be the 4th seed. Also, the Knicks on a 7-game win streak, but the Hawks were also playing great basketball leading up to this point. And yeah, as you would expect, when both teams have been playing well, both teams were playing well in this game. Clint Capella, cannot give that man any more credit that we've been doing. Double machine.
Take that, Houston.
You see, they traded him, try to adjust to Russell Westbrook, and yeah, well, how's the quad? Yeah, Clint Capella really stepped up big time for them.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich stepped up big time for this Hawks team. Trae Young, he had off and on in terms of offensively, but he was still doing this thing and he was still making plays and being that best player that they need. But like I said, this was back and forth. On the Knicks side, it was Julius Randle, as it always been Julius Randle. RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Manuel Quickly, D Rose. And yeah, this was a good game up until that third quarter. And that's when the Hawks started to get it going. The Hawks started to get in stride. The Hawks started to get in rhythm. The Knicks were kind of playing like how they kind of do sometimes in those third quarters. You know, when the defense gets sloppy, their offense gets sloppy.
Yeah.
Because you know how big they rely on their defense. So
To generate the
both,
offense.
yeah, both the defense really has to be good. And that wasn't the case. But then about in that third quarter, I want to say, what was it, midway or late? I think it was midway in that third quarter.
Like late.
Yeah. Trae Young landed awkwardly on his leg. He went down and he did not return. He was clearly in agony on his left ankle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big loss for this Hawks team, especially with the way they've been playing, especially with what they need from him, especially in terms of this game. This was a big game.
Yeah, man. To see your star player, we've been having this a lot recently. Star players going down, especially in crucial moments in which teams need them. And the Hawks, that race in the East, in the East is tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need everyone you need everyone healthy as possible because, like, you know, 2 losses could drop you.
Yeah.
Like 2 losses could really drop you from whatever seed you got now to like way lower. So, like, you know, every win, every game is crucial because a win and a loss could determine where you're at. And the Hawks need Trae Young. They really need Trae Young. He is their leader. He is their star. He is their closer. He's the one that you give to. He's their most trusted player throughout games in general. So they're gonna need.
Yeah. And that sucks. And I know it sucks for him too, because he's really having a good year and he was really leading this Hawks team. He's really their leader.
Yeah.
But no detail on how long he will be out. I don't think he'll be out for the rest of the season. I hope he's not out for the rest of the season. But any injury and any amount of games, especially at this point of the season, hurts.
Yeah.
So prayers up for Trae Young. Hope he gets better soon. And even though he got hurt, the Hawks got out to a bigger lead a little bit. But then the tide kind of turned. And the Knicks started hitting their stride, finally getting their defense going. And once their defense is going, now their offense is going. Now Julius Randle's cooking. Now Emmanuel Quickly, who was big time for them in this game, now he's stepping up. Now he's playing big time. Now he has playing big minutes. Sometimes I wish he played a lot more minutes. But and yeah, he hits back-to-back threes. The Knicks are down by 2. I believe D Rose gets to the paint layup. The lead is tie game. And yep, then after that, the Knicks went on a pretty run. They got out up 116-109. But this Hawks team, even though they didn't have Trae Young, they still fought back and they still played great basketball. Mentioned Bogdanovich, who was playing great. Clint Capella, I mentioned, who was playing great. And this didn't stop them from still competing and still playing well. Yeah. And eventually, I mean, Collins hits a 3, and it's tie game again. It's 118-118. Mm-hmm. And then back to Julius Randle, fadeaway jump shot. Then going into the paint layup. And the Knicks are up by 3. But on a miscommunication, Bogdanovich gets wide open in the corner. He hits the 3. It's tie game. And the Knicks have a chance to win the game. Give us Julius Randle. It doesn't go. Now we go into overtime. And in overtime, the Knicks basically take over late into that overtime with Randle and with Emmanuel Quickly hitting the dagger 3 to seal this win for the New York Knicks. And the Knicks are the 4th seed, and the Knicks have now won 8 straight. It's going to be
yeah. Yeah,
what a time to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah, what a bounce back win for y'all. What a bounce back. What a comeback win.
Yeah.
what a comeback win for you guys. Because the Hawks for like basically through 3.5 quarters, they basically had you on the ropes. You know what I mean? And just like what you said, things became a little bit sloppy for you within that third quarter. And that's
Yeah.
when the Hawks start to hit their stride. But yet the thing is, this is what I like. They took advantage, or they started to take a little bit more control when Trae Young went down. It's unfortunate that he went down, but yet that's when the Knicks started to take control because again, for the Hawks, even though they were able to still stay in that game and they were able to go into overtime, you need that closer, somebody who you could give the ball to and just go ahead and give a bucket to constantly, or as a guard who could orchestrate a team so well, could get other players the opportunity to get in the rhythm or get hot within those closing moments. And that's what Trae Young is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks just basically just took over took over from there. The run was amazing if you look at it. The way that they was flowing from defense to offense, um, getting their shots, getting their layups, like it was just amazing to watch, and it was happy to see them go on this run.
Yeah. Great win by this Knicks team. Hopefully Trae Young gets better soon. Also, I forgot to mention another injury. Taj Gibson got hurt in that second quarter.
Yeah,
Got an eye injury. He left the game, didn't return. You know how Tom Thibodeau loves to play his veterans. And you
yes.
know how veterans are important,
Mhm.
especially this late, especially when we get into that May scene. So hopefully he gets well. And for the Hawks, yes, hopefully Trae Young gets better soon because they really do need him. And he's really been playing great.
Yeah.
But all right, other games around the league.
Um. Another game I would like to talk about. I said another game. The game that I would like to talk about is the Nuggets versus the Blazers, and man, was this high scoring and just really close. It basically, just to keep it short, sweet, and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really got up to a crazy advantage or anything. It was mainly close. It was a close affair. Really close from start to finish. And Dame Lillard came back after
Yep.
sitting out a couple of games, and man, he balled out. And he actually hit a clutch basket coming down the stretch within that fourth quarter as it came down to the wire. He hit a shot, I believe, because they were down, and he was able to cut their deficit to I think like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
The Nuggets were still able to hold on. Like, it was a wild scramble within that last sequence of trying to, but I believe.
Norman Powell had a chance.
Yep. Yep. So basically, Eric Gordon and Robert Covington, they fight for the rebound. A jump ball is called. And basically on the jump ball, I believe the Blazers win it, or they both try to go up for it, and it goes out, and they both teams scrambling for it on the ground. Norman Powell gets it, has the opportunity, goes up for a floater. Time runs out, and it just misses. And as a result, the Nuggets were able to take the win. But what a
Yes.
close battle! What a close battle!
Sneaking, stealing that win.
Yes.
Very close. Just getting by the Nuggets with that win. Good win by this Nuggets team. Jokic having another good game. Need a nickname for him since the MVP candidate as well. But we
The
just gonna
Joker
keep
Knight returns.
it. Yeah, just keep it with the joke. All right. Other game.
Another game I like to talk about is the Wizards versus the Warriors, and man, the Wizards came out steamrolling from from just offensively because they don't play no defense. They can't guard a per card, but offensively they would just have it flowing. Just constantly finding ways to get to the basket, playing up tempo, playing high tempo, slashing to the rim, cutting, getting their ways, and like of course they got Davis Bertans who could hit the three, and that's how their offense flowed.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they had that in the first quarter, but then in the second quarter they went on a huge drought. They couldn't score. And against this Warriors team, that's one thing you do not want to do is not be able to score the basketball. Because even though they're not the Warriors of old, they're still the Warriors. And they're
Mm-hmm.
still a really good offensive team that when they could put up points, they could put up points in a hurry. And that's what the Warriors did. The Wizards failed to convert and get a basket. They took advantage and they started to get to score baskets. They started to get on the roll, and you see that big lead that the Wizards had within since the end of that first quarter. You start to see it go down and go down and go down and go down, and the Warriors started to make it into more of a ball game. And then the Wizards eventually started to come back, but then it was more of a duel within that third quarter. And the fourth quarter hit, the Warriors eventually took the lead. But all thanks to Mr. Russell Westbrook, the Wizards started to find their stride again. Just Westbrook was just, I think, midway through that fourth quarter, Westbrook started getting into attack mode. And then, all you know, next day they started to get great shots. Open threes. David Bertans came up big. Bradley Beal came with a big shot, big passing to Bertans to even give them a layup. But the Warriors were not out. So yeah, layups were made, and then you know, it was tie game. It was tie game. The Warriors had an opportunity. Well, actually, they were down by 2. The Warriors had an opportunity to tie up the game. Andrew Wiggins, because they get a great steal. Andrew Wiggins with the ball, catching right in midair with the ball, had opportunity, had great positioning, goes up for the layup. Looks like it's about to go straight in, goes in,
just go
right out.
rounds the hoop and goes out.
Yep, right around the hoop and just pops right out. And that had to be a devastating blow for the Warriors to watch, as the Wizards were able to get the rebound and time expired from there. So,
Bertans was fouled. Then he hit both free throws. But basically, after that missed layup, that was game.
Yeah.
And this Wizards team, credit to them, six in a row. The Wizards have been playing great basketball. Let's talk about it. Now we can finally talk about it, because now the Wizards, for the first time this season, are in the play-in game. They are the 10th seed. Now, credit to the Bulls for absolutely sucking, but the Wizards have been playing great basketball. Their defense is still sucking, but their defense is about, bending. Yeah, I guess they're into that point. Bending, snap a little, but don't break completely, And credit Bradley Beal, who has been playing great ever since he came back. Hasn't have to been doing as much as he used to because the Wizards have been playing great.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook. That man is on a mission. That man is on a tear. All right? He's a beast. Yes. Westbrook, I mean, listen, we know what he can do. So, yeah. But unfortunately, you forgot to mention an injury. Denny Avdija, late in that second quarter, landed awkwardly.
Yep.
And he was in a lot of pain. So much pain that he had to get wheelchaired out. And obviously, he did not return. That's a big blow for the Wizards. As I mentioned, they were playing great basketball. He's been a really good part of that. He's been a nice piece for them. Also, this is his rookie year. He's got a lot of potential, and that just sucks.
Yeah, man, it's hard. Again, he's a rookie, and like, you know what I mean. You hate to see the integral pieces of your team go down.
Yeah,
especially the Wizards, who just went got into the playing game, and they need all their pieces intact in order to maintain it. So it's going to be tough for them. And again, just like what I said, the same thing I said with Wiseman, bro. Sometimes you need to go through a challenge or adversity like this to toughen you up a little bit, to show you the ropes of how the NBA lifestyle really is. So hope all is well. Hope it's nothing major or anything, but just hope he bounce back well.
Yeah, I really do. I hope he bounce back. Feel better soon. Hope it's nothing really, really badly serious. All right. And if anyone wondering, there was no mention of Curry. It's because Curry did not have a good game. Let's be honest. I mean, he did hit some shots late in that fourth quarter for the Warriors. But yeah, his his amazing streak and his amazing performances had to be put on hold. I had to stop at least for one game. At least for one game. But all
Oh,
right.
he's gonna bounce right back because, like,
Oh yeah.
luck was not on his side in this game.
One, you're fried. Two, you really are a player fan, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Just real quickly, the Kings and the Timberwolves. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but the Kings got out early, got early to a big lead. And that really stayed up until that third quarter where the Timberwolves fought back and they got back into this game. Then we really got back and forth up until that fourth quarter, in which came down to the wire. Timberwolves down by one, and Buddy, oh Buddy, sweet Buddy, my Buddy, Buddy Hield, doing what he does best, hitting the clutch three to take the lead, and the Timberwolves had a chance to, I believe, had a chance to win the game, they had a chance to win the game. Gave it to Towns. Towns missed, and as a result, it was the Kings winning that game back after losing the game to the Timberwolves 2 nights ago.
Well, I guess all we can say is yay, Sacramento, yay, yes.
And all I can say is still, who cares?
That's usually why they only get a little celebration. I don't get nothing else.
Yeah, I guess. But all right, it is prediction time for tonight's set of games. Should be interesting lineup. First, starting off, the Phoenix Suns going up against the Boston Celtics.
Phoenix.
Wouldn't be surprised if Celtics win this game though. The Pelicans going up against the Magic.
Pels.
Pelicans. The first primetime game of the night, TNT, 7 o'clock. The Philadelphia 76ers looking to bounce back from their loss up against the Milwaukee Bucks, two top dogs of the Eastern Conference. Who you got?
Ooh. Okay, that duel. I got the Sixers though.
And I got Bucks. The Pistons going up against the Spurs. Spurs, like 05. The Hornets going against the Bulls.
That was so disrespectful. Take that back.
They what?
He said like 05. But yeah, I got called out when I said Sacramento versus who? You got pissed at me one time when I said something about Sacramento and stuff and how like it's like
you said Chris Warfield. That was disrespectful because in 05, that's what happened. All I'm talking about is history. All right, this is NBA history. For anyone who doesn't know, 2005, the Detroit Pistons, Detroit Pistons, led by Chauncey Billups, Street Wallace, and all of them, went to the finals up against San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Spurs won in 7. Right? In 7, right?
Yes, they won in 7.
Yes. It's NBA history, just a fun fact of the day.
Okay. All right. Oh, the fun fact of the day. So you want to steal my idea now? Okay. Go on.
When you have a fun fact of the day?
You remember?
You had that lame ass motivational thing.
Oh yeah, it was motivation of the day, not fun fact of the day. You're right.
Use some lame shout every day.
All right. Move on.
I gotta give him context. I have to give him context. Every day when we was in high school, on Snapchat, I would just look, and he would have some motivation of the day. And
I'm gonna bring that back.
Movie quote or something like something inspirational, something motivational, to get people going. But in hindsight, that's not really that bad. That's actually a nice idea. That's actually pretty good. It's just embarrassing because he never really, even took his own advice into what the quotes that he was picking. So it was fun. But in hindsight, that's actually good. That's actually a good thing. People need some motivation. People need some inspiration in their life.
Yeah.
So, maybe you should bring it back. Hey, maybe you should put it on the podcast every day. Motivation of the day. Let's go. Hey, you have your own segment on the podcast.
I want to do that. Thank you. I want to do that.
Segment on the podcast.
Thank you.
Some of you might laugh, but all right. The Hornets going against the Bulls.
Hornets.
And lastly, TNT 930. The Los Angeles Lakers, defending champions, up against Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. And probably is a possibility that man, Anthony Davis, might be available for tonight's game.
Doubt it.
Might. He's doubtful. He's kind of a hater, so
doubt it.
He probably doesn't want to see Anthony Davis play. But who you got?
If he does come back, I got the Lakers. It will be great to see him and Drummond in that front court together. If not, I got the Mavericks.
If AD does come, I got the Mavericks. All right. I mean, it's only his first game back. Yeah. But AD, let me not doubt him. But still, I got the Mavericks. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up. It's kind of been a long episode. Any final thoughts?
Nah, man.
Okay. But get well to Trae Young, Denny Avila, also Chris Boucher, who got out in that Raptors-Nets game, and the Raptors win against the Nets. Yeah, I know. But yeah, he I believe he sprained his ankle and he didn't return. He's been playing some great basketball this year. So hopefully he's fine. But yeah, get well soon to all the players that weren't just injured yet last night, but injured throughout the season. It's been a tough season, and it's been a lot of injuries, and that is something that, as an NBA fan, you don't just get used to.
Yeah, you should never get used to it. Injuries are part of the game, unfortunately. It just said that you could just never let go. No matter how much you wish it could never happen, you could avoid it. It's just always going to happen to some player, God forbid, and unfortunately, and injuries could take away a player's career. So,
yep.
We just hope and wish the best.
Get well soon to all the injured players from this season. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And also follow IG and our TikTok down in the description below.
And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind Basketball Podcast.
05.
I'm not even going to say anything.
I was so disrespectful towards Tim Duncan and Ben Wallace.
Tim Duncan got the ring.
Yeah, he got the ring. I know he got the ring.
So why does it matter?
Why does it matter? The Pistons are far cry from what they were in 05. A far cry. The Spurs, they probably far, but they're not a far cry, but they're far from where they were in 05. Shit, they let alone they're a far cry from where they was like 6 years ago.
Let's just leave it at that. Goodbye, everybody.